So I've got a couple of super ripe bananas and I was wondering what to do with them, but then I remembered that my friend Apeksha had created this banana bread using Jamie Oliver's recipe over Eid, and it was so good. So I think I'm going to give it a try. So I've got all my ingredients here: all-purpose flour, unsweetened apple juice, unsalted butter, 1 egg, honey, pecans, ground cinnamon, and of course bananas. So Jamie Oliver's recipe calls for 4 bananas, but I've got only 2 with me, so I'm going to cut down all the other ingredients in half as well. So before we begin, I'm going to preheat my oven to 180 degrees centigrade for 10 minutes. And I'm also going to lightly grease my baking pan with butter. So I'm going to start with approximately 62 grams of butter. The original recipe calls for 125 grams, so I'm just using half, which is about this much. I'm going to add this to my mixing bowl. And what goes in next is this egg. I hate breaking eggs, but let's see how. Okay, I didn't get any shells in, so that's a good thing. So now you got to use a wooden spoon to kind of mix the butter and egg together. It would be so much easier if I was using a whisk, but let's just follow the recipe. So they've said it's normal for the mixture to look this lumpy. So I'm just going to assume this is fine and move ahead with the rest. So now it's time to add bananas to this mix. Wow, they are really ripe. So I'm going to keep half banana on the side because they've asked to use 3 and keep 1 aside. So because I'm using half of everything, I'm going to use 1.5 in this mixture and keep half aside. And what you got to do is take a fork and mash it into this mixture. Grabbing a fork. So this is what it should finally look like. Next, I'm going to add 1 tablespoon apple juice. The recipe calls for 2 tablespoons. And 1 tablespoon of honey. So next I'm going to add 125 grams of all-purpose flour. That's about 100. And that's 115. 120 and 125. Along with this, I'm just going to add a pinch of cinnamon And now I'm going to use the same wooden spatula to carefully fold in this mixture, and they have said not to over mix, so I'm being very careful here. The recipe also says that you can use pecans if you like. I'm just going to take about 4 pecans and just break them very roughly using my hands. So this is what my mixture looks like. Just adding in all the pecans. Just giving it a final mix. So now it's time to spoon this mixture into the baking tin. And the remaining half banana that I have, just going to peel it, slice it, now according to the recipe this is supposed to go in for 40 to 50 minutes, but because I'm just using half of the ingredients, I'm going to put it for 30 minutes first, see how it does, and then cook it for longer if required. So we are 30 minutes in, and well, the banana bread doesn't look that well done, to be honest. So I guess I'm just going to keep it in for another 20 minutes. So time's up, and I'm honestly not sure how this has turned out to be. So, well, it smells great, really delicious, but I have a feeling it's kind of burnt around the edges and the base. So we'll only get to know this once I remove this onto a plate. So this is the moment of truth. So here it is. So I'm not totally impressed with it, but nonetheless I'm really proud of myself for finally making the banana bread. I didn't make it during the lockdown, I didn't get a chance to, but it's never too late, right? So I let the banana bread sit for a while, and I've cut myself a tiny slice. Pretty close to what my friend made. So although it looked burnt from the sides, it doesn't taste burnt. It's slightly less sweet, which is totally okay with me, but if you like your banana bread to be sweeter, you can probably add a little more honey to it.